Hello, everyone. Rich Wildman here. Music Scene Investigation is on the air, and a lot of things are going right today, and a lot of things are going wrong. So it's kind of one of those days where you kind of got to roll with the punches and just keep moving along, I guess. And it's going to be a good show if you have the opportunity to tune in, of course, live on musicsceneinvestigation.com/live. Or you can actually go to the radio site over at musicsceneinvestigation.com/radio, and you probably won't have any problems there on the video. However, you may experience some issues as we seem to have some problems with our CDN. I've been watching it as we've gone down through the pre-show, and there have been some dropouts which have taken place. And that doesn't make for a great viewing experience. So I would probably recommend the radio if I were to recommend anything, which I don't. You know how that goes. Anyway, we got...
You're not allowed an opinion.
Exactly. I'm not allowed an opinion. That's exactly what it is. We've got 3 new songs for our panelists today. We're going to talk with them, meet them, and they can express their opinions. Apparently they have them, I don't. That's the way it is. Well, we have 2 guys, 3. Everybody's in England today except me.
My plan is working.
It is. It is. And as soon as you send me that plane, I will move over. It's just kind of the way it works. Over in London, England, Mr. Ian Husbands. Hey, Ian, how are you, sir? Things going well?
I'm good. Welcome to the UK from all of us here in the UK.
And thank you, I guess. I don't know. The show originates in the UK now, apparently.
We're just trying to take back what was ours originally, Rich.
Yeah, well, it's working. That's all I can say. So how are things over there? Everything going well?
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. I've been sponsored to do an animation for a new website that's launching hopefully around end of November, early December.
Can you tell us about it?
I can't say too much, but it's going to be another Lego animation, obviously. And it's going to be a parody of a very highly respected TV drama that involves the colour blue.
So it's not The Simpsons, then?
No, I've done the Simpsons one. That's out and done. This is a new one.
Okay.
So the series that we're parodying was huge.
Is it a cop drama?
No.
All right. Well, I have no idea what it would be then, because I don't. That's the only show on TV that I know that has blue in it.
But the video is going to showcase some custom printed and custom made Lego figures from a new brand that's being released.
Are you going to get a Lego figure that looks like you to go with your T-shirt?
No, I have to say actually, the Lego figure that I have got for this this animation looks a lot like you.
Oh, great!
If you had glasses on,
okay, all
and,
right.
maybe a black sort of brimmed hat.
Ah, okay. Hang on just a second. You talk. Give us the statistics from last week's broadcast while I get set up here.
Okay, right. Well, okay. We had the show last week, and we had 3 songs, which were "I Keep Staring" by Dog A.K.A. Akinan, "Miami Nights" by La Unica, and "Floating So Fast" by Phono Emergency Tool. And I have to say,
such a great name for a band.
It is. It's Phono Emergency Tool is the tool that MSI needs. Really, we deal with musical emergencies. Great. It's like our sonic screwdriver. Anyway, the audience agreed with us, James.
They did indeed. And greetings from MSI UK headquarters. So, Phono Emergency Tool, yeah, fantastic name for a band. They were really good. Nice sort of punk-driven band, if I remember rightly.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, they sounded very British.
All right.
Yeah, they were also quite well polished as well. It was a good mix, good all-rounder. Nice contender for the hit list there.
All right, so this is what your Lego figure looks like.
I can't obviously I can't see it just yet, so I'll verify that when I see the image.
It doesn't look a thing like me. Face it. All right. Anyway, there you go. All right, so everybody seemed to agree with what the panelist had to say, is basically what you're telling everybody.
Yes.
That's good.
100% across the board, they all agree with us. Fantastic.
I'm glad to hear that. I really
Some
am.
of them did vote for Big Head, but you know.
It happens. It is the way it is. And Big Head was the week before.
I know, but they voted for it again this week.
They can't vote. Never mind. All right. James Anderson is in London, and actually, I don't know if you're in London or you're in the UK. I know this.
I was in London earlier today, but I'm in Brighton at this very moment in time.
Now, how far away is that?
Spent the weekend with my girlfriend's family in London earlier, but Brighton from London is about 50 miles.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
It's further south, so right on the coast.
Oh, well, yeah.
On the seaside.
You're in the London Riviera.
Not quite, but not too far away.
I don't even know if London has a Riviera, so I'm just making stuff up now. So now tell me, James, how have things been going with you? We've given you a whole week to kind of acclimatize to what you're doing here. I just want to make sure everything is working out well.
Things are good. I'm really happy being on board here as a presenter on MSI. And I've been desperately trying to find guests with no degrees of success yet, but I've only been with the team for a short period of time. I'm hoping that we have not a more controversial show today, but maybe if we aren't all in agreement, maybe it'll make a more interesting show. Because I think every one I've been on, we've all come to the same decision by the end of the show. So it'd be interesting to see if we get a little bit of disagreement or maybe a change of opinion for a change.
Well, I think, honestly, this week might be the week for it then. You never know.
I have a feeling it could be.
And
we've got a very exciting guest this week, especially from my perspective of buying and selling records, knowing how new wave of British heavy metal seems to sell very well. So I think we should go ahead and introduce our guest.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our guest this week, a great friend of MSI. In fact, he was one of the first guys to appear on MSI. He's actually the very first guest other than our pilot episode to appear on the broadcast. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows what he looks like in spandex. and that's just kind of the way that goes. Dave Bryce. Hey, Dave, welcome back.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks for having me.
It's always good to have you.
I love the show. You know, I'll always do it. I'll always help you guys out.
Well, we appreciate that, too. You don't know how much, and we're just glad to have you. Now, I know a lot is going on from your perspective. Let's talk about a couple of things that I know we can talk about. First of all, what I want to ask you is I know that you have your technical guy back with you. Dale is back in-house today. So how are things going with him? I've heard that he's actually getting on quite well. Everything's going really well on his end.
Yeah, my son, Dale, as you know him. He sets everything up for me when I'm here. He's my technical man. And his band, Crown Me King, just been on tour. It's their first tour, 5-date tour. All the gear, I remember it well. All the gear in a car, sort of a biggish car. Sleeping in the car and having a good old time. They had a great time. So yeah, they've got a lot of contacts. For example, they played in Mansfield, which is, help me out here, it's near Manchester, is it?
Yeah, it's up that sort of north past the Watford Gap direction.
Yeah, so you know how it goes when you're on tour for the first time. He's in a metal band. There was about 4 or 5 bands on the bill, and they get 20-minute, 30-minute slots. They all help each other out. And one of the bands was on the tour for four of the dates, so they kind of tagged along with them guys and had a good laugh and had a good drink and all that kind of thing. And there was literally 5 people at this venue. So not good.
Wow. I mean,
not good.
I guess, you know, in an up-and-coming band, guys just start, you're happy to play. You know, it doesn't really matter if it's 5 people, 5,000 people. Obviously, 5,000 people is better than 5, but hey, somebody showed up at least, right?
Well, one of these guys in the audience, one of 5, was offered them a tour in Europe. He was in that kind of line of business.
Wow.
And a promoter.
Great.
And he said, you know, would you be interested in doing a European tour? Which, you know, they've got a contact out of it. So something's happened.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Good for bands.
Yeah. Now, so did you regale him with stories about when Spider was just starting out? How there were, I don't know if there were. I mean, you guys played what, 4,000 shows a year for how many years? I mean, just an ungodly number of shows. So, did you ever run into situations where you were playing for 5 at a time?
We continuously toured from, say, 79. We came to London in 78. 79, we kind of just would play anywhere. And in them days, you could play any venue and it would be full. People used to go to gigs then, and you could play anywhere. Of course, when we first started, we'd play places that were 10 people in or double booked or whatever. But we just built a fantastic following up and down the country and just used to tour constantly. So it was different with us. We had a coach. We built it, you know, it was like we lived in it for pretty much 10 years. So it was different. The 80s was different to nowadays, I think.
So what advice do you give to Dale when he comes back and says, you know, we're offered a European tour? Any advice that you give him?
I really can't give Dale and his bandmates any advice because they're out there, they're doing it, they're passionate about their music. They want to go out and gig, no matter where it is. And they want to make friends, and they just want to build their reputation. So I other than he knows me and he knows that I've brought him up on Spider, he's got his own sort of kind of music that he likes. It's not just metal, but he plays a variety of music because he's different to me. He's a trained musician. I'm self-taught. I wish I was a trained musician.
No, I completely understand that. Now, let's talk a little bit about Spider because obviously, you know, you guys released or re-released some compilations earlier, and so how's everything going with Spider? What's going on there? What about the re-releases? What can you tell us about how things are going?
Well, about, I would say, 3 years ago, Cherry Red Records approached us and said, we'd like to put out all your material and offered to pay us a little bit of money. And they said that we would get royalties for it, which, you know, Dave Ling wrote all the sleeve notes. He used to do the Fan Wagon years ago. He writes for Metal Hammer. So he did all the sleeve notes. And we did interviews over the phone. And then Brian designed the sleeve with all the pictures through the years. And then Cherry Red Records kindly put it out, which is, you know, it's just brilliant. Obviously, it's done fairly well. I think they sold out of all their copies and they've done a re-release. So we're getting small checks through the post now and again for royalties, which is a nice thing to see.
No, absolutely.
I think everyone's hinging on a reunion, and you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can offer the fans something next year.
Yeah, now that's one of the things I'm looking forward to, is if this reunion gets off the ground. I'm certainly hoping you bring it to the States, or at least somewhere where I can go watch you guys.
Rich, I don't think that's going to happen, but all I can say is that we'll get rehearsing one day, and we'll get it as tight as we can, and then we'll do a couple of UK dates, because we've all got families and we've all got different commitments. Saying that, we don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
But if it happens, it happens, and we'll do a couple of shows. We'll film it, and I'll send you a copy.
Oh, well, there you go. That's just as good. Not really as good, because I'd rather see you guys live.
I
know. But the thing is, it'd be great to see you guys live, any venue, no matter where it's at. Even if I have to watch it over YouTube Live or something like that, I'd be happy to do so. So,
yeah.
Maybe you just don't know yet, huh?
We just don't know yet, but fingers crossed. We're getting there. That's all I can really say. We're getting there slowly. So it's all good. No, I love playing music live. I'm doing an acoustic thing at the moment, where we're rehearsing eight Spider songs acoustically, and also I've got my other band as well, which is a covers band, and we do a few Spider songs. It's just fun. It's just good fun, and that's what it's all about.
Oh, absolutely. There is no doubt about that. Doing something you enjoy is never a day's work ever.
Absolutely.
All right.
So I'll keep you posted, Rich.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got to keep me posted. There is no doubt about it. And I do want to bring everybody in here, because obviously we've got a lot of music to listen to today, 3 new songs. And I want to see what you guys think about these songs. I got to tell you, genre-wise, all over the board today. It's going to be a good one. Certainly hope you guys enjoy it. So here we go, guys. Let's get things started off with song number 1 on today's broadcast. Here it is, everybody. This is the first song on today's Music Scene Investigation. Enjoy it, and we'll be back in just a second.
Supposed to forget you if you like to, but during the night, and tell me I was supposed to be free. If I'm getting up left from a shattered heart, but do you like to go outside and party on the streets and fuck with these girls in the night? A landmine about the risks of the joy of the friends of this love them and tell me I'm fine, but I feel so overwhelmed and I don't care. Even now to tell you down, supposed to forget you if you like me. During the night, down the I was supposed to be free. If I'm getting up from a shattered heart, but do you like to go outside and party at the streets and fuck with these girls in the night? Well, I don't mind about the risks of the joy of the friends of this love them and tell me I'm fine, but I feel so overwhelmed and I don't care. Even now today.
Short but sweet. That is song number 1 on the broadcast today. Let me get my video thing going here. It just takes me a while. I'm slow today. Please forgive me. Let's go and find out what our panelists have to say about song number 1. Over to Ian first. Ian, what do you think? Song 1 to ya.
You're only slow because of that IQ of 160 of yours.
It is. It takes me a while to get up to speed.
Just saying. Right. okay, there's a lot to like about this track, and there's lots to not like about this track, in my opinion. Let's start with what I like. I like the sound of the bass. I like the sound of the guitars. I like the sound of the drums. But it's all very loud. It's all very in your face, to the point that if there is a vocal on there, but you can hardly make out what's being said. The backing vocals are knocked right back. The lead vocals not right back. It's dominated by that bass and those guitars especially. I think this has got a good sound to it. I think, they're heading in the right direction with this from the production point of view. It's got that sort of slightly polished, punky edge to it, if that makes sense. And I like that. I like what they're trying to achieve. But, the mix-wise just throws everything out. I like the little guitar solo. I think the performances were generally pretty much there, but with that mix being so unbalanced, it's very sort of difficult to sort of look at this as anything but a demo that needs a lot of work. Don't get caught up in the loudness wars. Guitars can work and drive without being the loudest thing in the track, as can the bass. And it's all about getting your EQ right and the separation right on those instruments. Really would like to hear what that vocalist is doing. It sounds like he's got an interesting voice, but the melody was coming through, and the melody seemed quite strong, but I couldn't make out the words at all. So, yeah, remix, get those vocals up and get those guitars down.
All right, Ian, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your thoughts. James, how about you? What do you think of track number 1?
I think what we've got here is a strong track, but with a weak mix. I think that the vocals are definitely far too low. In fact, so low in places I couldn't work out whether there were some performance issues or not. But generally, everything is good. It's short and sweet, but I think it's the right length. It seems to be the right fitting. It came out with that little solo and came back again, and I think that was just about enough for the tune. But those guitars and bass were definitely far too high, and I'd quite like to hear this given to a good mix engineer and see what kind of results come from that, because it will turn what sounds like a demo into what I believe to be a strong track. So that's certainly a good effort, but it just needs work in the mix department, like many tracks we receive on the show. I think that's all I have to say on that one for now.
All right, makes perfect sense. I appreciate your thoughts on that. Over to Mr. Dave Bryce. Dave, what do you think about the track?
What track?
Track number 1.
I couldn't hear it. I never listened to it because I couldn't play it.
Oh, really?
Apologies. Yeah,
my goodness.
I pressed on it and it wouldn't play. Clicked on it several times and it wouldn't. Sorry.
Now let me ask you. Now everybody has to know our playback for our panelists is done a little bit differently than what we do for everyone out in the audience. For everyone in the audience, I play the music live for you. For our panelists, they listen to it from the back end of our website, where we have a special page for them to listen to music. Now, Dave, we have 2 play buttons there, one with a green song 1 beside it and one with a long black bar. Which button did you try and use?
I've got song 1. I pressed the play button and nothing happened at all.
Okay, how about on the black bar beneath where it says song 1? If you press the play button on that black bar.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Right, that's my fault then.
No, it's not your fault at all. It's my fault for not reminding you of that.
Hang on. Right. I've got it now. I can listen to him now, so that's my fault.
No, that's all right. It's fine. It happens.
Since it's so short, let's
it is very short.
Further discuss the track and
Dave can listen to it in the background.
Listen for a couple of minutes.
There you go. So Dave, go ahead and listen to that while we talk amongst ourselves here. So
okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk. And unfortunately, I can't turn everyone. Well, I guess I can. So go ahead and James and Ian, tell us a little bit about. First of all, James, you mentioned that it needed to be mixed properly. So tell me a little bit about what you meant by that.
Yeah, so I probably didn't really elaborate too much on that, but from where I'm coming from and where Ian was coming from, I believe the guitars and the bass were too loud, and I'm not entirely sure that the drums were the correct level either. But I think if you were to mix the vocals a bit higher and maybe drop everything else down a little, then you'd end up with a fairly even balance. I think we're talking a case of ensuring that all of the instruments aren't swamping each other and allowing enough frequency space for the instrumentation. I think that's where I was coming from with the track.
All right, well, that makes perfect sense to me, Ian. I'm assuming you probably agree with that.
Yeah, it was mixed by the guitarist or the bass player. You know, as Tom used to say, there's vocals and nowhere. There's no presence to them at all, and they should be leading that track. They need to be brought up. They need more compression. The backing vocals need to come up with the lead because they were there but barely. Everything was just so overbearing on the instrumentation that the vocals got left behind. Mix is of utmost importance. As I said, don't get caught up in the loudness wars. It seems like everything was just on top of each other. Get those guitars spread a bit more. You know, center that bass and make it a bit more solid. Give it its own definition, and you know, it will get a lot better.
Yeah, it would have been nice to hear the definition of the vocals. There were moments when I could hear something, and I wasn't sure if it was like a performance issue where the vocalist would stammer a bit. Or maybe I'm wrong in that, but it was very difficult to pick out certain words. And
I caught them as well. It was very difficult to make out any words, but I did catch a couple of sort of stammers in the performance. But you know, with the volume being so low, I couldn't quite get my head around on one listen what it actually was.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to be too judgmental on the performance side of things because it was quite difficult to hear. But from what I could hear, it did sound like a good vocal. It's just a shame I couldn't hear it.
All right.
The melody was good.
Let's check back in with Dave. I know he's heard a little bit about what you guys have said back and forth. So, Dave, hopefully you've had a chance to take a listen to that song.
Yes, I have. Yeah, listen to it now. So I can comment on that. It had a good feel to it. It was very short, but it had a good feel to it. But I can understand what Ian and James are saying about it. It just needs remixing. This separation, it was all sort of in there. There was a lot of bass. It was very bassy sounding, and the all the instruments needs kind of separating. But overall, it had a good feel to it, and it built and built. It's a little bit short though, that's all. Yeah, good track.
All right, well, there you have it. The name of this song, for those interested, it is called 2 Minutes. 2 Minutes by Killvan, and we appreciate Killvan sending that track into Music Scene Investigation. If you'd like to get your music heard on the broadcast, a very easy thing to do. Go to musicsceneinvestigation.com, click on Submit a Song at the top of the page, and all the information you need to know is right there telling you how to get that song submitted. All right, gentlemen, 2 more songs. Black Bar is what I recommend, by the way, Dave. Just want to throw that out there.
I'm trying to get back onto the page now.
Oh, no.
I'm on a black screen.
Oh, no. just issues all the way around.
It's weird. The black bar never works for me. It's always the green
I might
button.
get there, actually.
Yeah, for some people it doesn't work, and I don't know why that is. But
this is why we provide two players.
Exactly, it really is. We put those players out there so that everybody can take and play the music back on our back page, and hopefully not have any problems. But occasionally, we run into issues, and we do our best to make them all better as easily as possible. At least when we can. So, that's kind of the way that works. All right. Dave, are you back with us on the right page?
I'm back.
Excellent. Thank goodness for Dale.
Cheers, Dale.
All right. So
just to clarify this, were you just shouting at Dale, Dave?
He was shouting for Dale. I heard that.
I was shouting for Dale. I could hear something.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and listen to
Thanks for
track
watching.
number 2 then, and we'll find out what everybody thinks of it. This is track number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation, everyone. Please enjoy.
Girls without drama, waving a wad. Me don't want no headache from my next gal. On to the next one like the over song. Got no time. Be gone. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's better than you. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's so brand new. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's better than you. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's so brand new. New thing, big man thing. Want a new me, without the bee sting. She have class, unlike the past fling. Make a G, wanna give she everything. Girls without drama, waving a wad. Me don't want no headache from my next gal. On to the next one like the over song. Got no time. Be gone. Man, I done like violin, say government. I'm like Bounty, me not in a long argument. I'm not into quarreling, I don't want a part of it. You don't deserve half of the ring, hey, the chorus. Said I'm over you, hey. I found someone that's better than you. Said I'm over you. Hey. I found someone that's so brand new. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's better than you. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's so brand new. New look, new book. I turn the page. I used to be a young crook. Man, a king from the county, you know Brooke. Now I'm looking for a model look who can cook. Girls without drama, waving a wad. Wine for your man, get low and just dance. If your ex keep calling you while you in the dance, send that shit to the voicemail. You single tonight, bend over. You feeling right tonight, you ain't sober. Take a shot with me, we take over. Tell the ex, don't be vexed, it's over. Said I'm over you, hey. I found someone that's better than you. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's so brand new. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's better than you. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's so brand new. I don't have time for the games. I don't have time for the lanes. See, I really need a change. Said I really need a change. I don't have time for the lames though. Don't expect a call back from me though. Battery on my cell phone is low. If you can't respect that, then girl go. I don't have time for the lames though. Don't expect a call back from me though. Battery on my cell phone is low. If you can't respect that, then girl go. I found someone that's better than you. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's so brand new. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's better than you. Said I'm over you. I found someone that's so brand new. You know, over you. On to the next one. Play the drum.
Track number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation. There it is, everyone. Let's find out what our panelists thought. James, what do you think about track number 2? That's the first time I've ever heard a lyric, "The battery on my cell phone is low."
Well, to start off with the positives, it's certainly catchy. You can hear everything in the mix quite clearly. It's not my kind of cup of tea, but it's certainly quirky and definitely good fun. I don't think I'd particularly want to listen to it again, but I know that I'm certainly going to hear that melody over and over because that's going to stick. What Ian said about loudness, well, I think there's a little bit too much compression there, trying to sound as loud as possible. Probably not so much of a problem since that's what the rage is at the moment, is to sound particularly loud on the radio. The chorus in particular on that seems to be very in your face when blended with the rest of the track. One criticism I had with some of the sounds used, it sounded like a lot of sort of preset sounds were used rather than coming up with original synth noises or anything along those lines. I think it's good to experiment as much as possible with effects and synthesizers and try and get the most unique sounds possible. There are a few in there that I thought sounds a little bit generic, but I'm not trying to be negative at all here, and I think for the genre, that certainly works. It was a good effort, definitely. Didn't sound like demo, sounded like it could be something that's in the charts.
All right, very cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. Over to Dave. Dave, hopefully everything worked out this time around. You were able to hear everything without a problem. So what did you think?
Yeah. I mean, I like the track. When the chorus came through, it was so full for me, all the harmonies, and I couldn't hear a word James was saying, by the way, so I don't know what he said about it, but so I'm not influenced by anything other than what I heard. I like the track, and I think it built up and built up. I don't know what, I'm guessing there was a lot of MIDI instruments in there, but the chorus sounded so full, and I like a bit of reggae. I guess that was kind of reggae rap. Maybe Ian could describe what it was, but it's a good party kind of track. Yeah, I liked it.
All right, and over to Ian we go to find out what he thought. Ian, what do you think about track number 2?
It's not my bag, really, but saying that, it's got summer hit written all over it, if you want the honest truth. I can see this playing on adverts, in clubs, becoming a real summer sort of anthem. Yeah, really, really good track. As I said, not my bag, not what I'd normally listen to. I think someone in the chat room's called it Reggae-tron or Reggaeton, Dave. I don't know if that's an existing genre of music, but it is now.
It is now.
Here on MSI tonight. Yeah, I mean, the performances were fantastic. There was a lot of good stuff going on there. As Dave said, the mix on that chorus was really full. But I do agree with James. It was a very hot mix. And a bit thin as well. I felt there was a lot going on in the highs when then some of them sort of lows could have been developed a bit more. Got that bass really pumping and really, really sort of going for it. It's a great track. It's well produced. It's well performed. Mix is a little bit out for my ears, but this has got some anthem written all over it, and this needs to get out there and get on the radio because I think this could be a big hit.
All right, big hits all around. All right, thank you, Ian. The name of this track, everyone, it is called Over You, and it's by a group called Musical Genius, and we appreciate their sending that track in to Music Scene Investigation. All right, one more track to listen to, gentlemen, and we're going to take a listen to it right now. So put the headphones on. This is track number 3 on the broadcast today, everyone. Please enjoy track number 3.
Change, and that's the way that I prefer. I know you're around here somewhere. Some things never change at all, but I'd like to see it from your side. But I'd like to see it from your side.
That is song number 3 on the broadcast today. Let's go over to our panelists, find out what they think of it, starting out with Dave Bryce from the rock band Spider. Dave, what do you think about track number 3?
Yeah, I like this track. I like the way it builds up. The best part for me on this song was the harmonies when it came in. It sounded so full. I loved the harmonies on it. As it built, I think they just tried to be a bit too clever and build it up with sort of too many instruments in parts of the song. And I thought the lead was a little bit weak. It could have had something different going on there. That's my only real criticism of it. It's a great song, and the best part for me was the harmonies, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, overall a good song.
All right, well, I appreciate that, Dave. Thank you. Over to Ian Husbands and his thoughts. Ian, what do you think of track number 3?
Yeah, I mean, my first thought on this was that acoustic intro as it sort of built in and faded in. And I thought, oh, that acoustic sounds a bit rough. Don't like the sound of that acoustic. And then that whole band kicked in, and I was like, hey, it's really not offensive in the mix. So that was kind of cool. It sort of led me onto a false thing to start with. And then the track just got better and better and better. The production on here is very strong, especially that production on them vocals in that chorus. Really tight, really nicely mixed, full, some great harmonies going on there as well. They were so good, I was hoping for a few more backing vocals, sort of, maybe a bit of question answer going on in places. But, can't fault the harmony work there. It's fantastic. Guitar sounded great. I love the movement into the middle 8 as well. That was really smooth and really sort of brought a new dimension to the track. Did find that snare a bit offensive. That was big and bold, and it was just a bit overbearing in places. I think, back that snare off in the mix a little bit from my liking. It was still retaining the power and the groove that the track's got, and the groove is really, really strong. Songwriting was good. The chorus was big and hooky. As I said, not a lot wrong with this. It was a little bit bright in places. As I said, the drums could be mixed a bit nicer to my liking. And I felt the vocal production in the verses, I could have come up a little bit, just a bit stronger in the verses, but then you would have probably lost that impact into the chorus anyway. But overall, a great track. I'm really impressed with the quality of music through these doors tonight.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Ian. Thank you. Over to Mr. James Anderson. James, what are your thoughts on track number 3?
I think we've had three really good tracks, all for different reasons today, but they've all been of high quality, regardless of what area you look at them. I actually had a bit of a shock with this one. Because of the quiet introduction, I stupidly leapt over to the volume control and turned it up a bit. And by the time the snare came in, I was nearly deafened. So, yeah, for me, the snare was offensive. And also, because I had it turned up quite high, when the vocals did harmonise, it sounded like they were distorted. But I think that was my fault. So when I ducked it back down again, it was sounding good. There was some really good, interesting rhythms before the loud snare hit. Just after that introduction, I really thought that was good. And from a musical perspective, it had a good structure. There's not a lot to fault on here. Maybe very, very slight mix issues. Possibly saying that because I turned it up and got deafened by the snare. But apart from that, very good stuff. A little bit concerned about the vocal mix, though, because it did sound slightly raspy and distorted on 1 or 2 occasions. But apart from that, if you go through it with a fine-tooth comb, with a good mix engineer, then it'll sound very nice indeed. So good stuff all around.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, James. Thank you. The name of track number 3, it is See It From Your Side by Silhouette Cities. We appreciate their sending that track into Music Scene Investigation as well. All right, gentlemen, as always, your task is not done yet. You still have to select a song of the week. So I'm going to put it to you of song 1, 2, and 3. Talk amongst yourselves and make your selection.
Wow.
It's going to be a hard decision tonight for me.
You see, when it came to song 2, I was like, right, we've got a winner. This is song of the week. And then song 3 started, and I thought, yeah, we've got a winner. It's song 2. And then song 3 really started, and I'm now very undecided.
I think from a commercial perspective, that second track is probably would be the most successful out of the 3. However, from a musical perspective and maybe a little bit of personal taste, I'd say that 3 is a little bit more original and shows more from a musical perspective. But I think from a commercial perspective, track 2 would certainly be the most popular. Track 1, I think we've lost out on a little because of the mix and the fact that we couldn't hear the vocals properly. So I think that was a very good track, but for me, it's between 2 and 3, and I'm finding it quite difficult to work out which should be the track to choose.
All right, Dave, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, I would agree with James on the fact that track 2 is very commercial and would probably do well, in the public. People would buy this track, they would dance to it. Track 3 would probably be my choice from a musician's point of view, because I like the structure of the song, I like the guitars, I like the harmony. It just needs a bit of tweaking, track 3. But track 3 is my choice. Probably a bit of a selfish choice, but from a musician's point of view, that's my choice.
All right.
So track 3 for me.
Okay, I appreciate it, Dave. James and Ian, what are your thoughts? What track are you going to select of the 3?
Over to my esteemed colleague.
All right, James?
Personally, I thought you were referring to Rich there, or Tommy, who wasn't here, but no, certainly, it is such a hard choice because track 2 is commercially viable. However, I did say that they needed to improve certain things, and I think it was a bit repetitive. It was certainly catchy. Just looking back at the few notes I've made here, just to see if there's anything that sort of pulls track 2 over track 3 or vice versa. But no, I'm going to make a decision. This is music scene investigation. I think that we'll go for the one that's got better musical structure and integrity. And I think all 3 tracks tonight needed work. But I think track 3 is a clear winner in my perspective.
All right. And Ian, your thought?
They've made it easy for me. I'll go with track 3 as well. Unanimous. Track 2 was fantastic, and I think, in its own right, that'll be a hit. But I can hear this.
I think track
3.
2 certainly needs to get out there, because I can just imagine that being played out across all the radio stations on the music channels. It's just so catchy. It should be out there.
All right.
But I think, you're going to hear track 3, if it gets out there, that's going to be on soundtracks.
Yes.
It's got that soundtrack quality feel to it. You can see that in films and TV series and stuff like that as well.
Very close call indeed.
All right. Well, a unanimous decision puts track 3 in the spot as our song of the week. Silhouette Cities and their track, See It From Your Side. And those guys are now in the running for our hit list, which is going to take place for the songs of the week from October. It's going to take place in November, so you want to make sure that you tune in for that. And speaking of hit list...
I'd like to do something really unfounded.
You really would? Okay.
I would. I'd like to suggest, I'm not saying it has to happen, but I'd like to suggest that we consider song number 2 this week. If we've got a spare slot on the hit list, it's only a 4-week slot, and we can fit a 5th in, we should put it in for the hit list as well.
Yeah, I think it should be a runner-up if it can fit.
All right. Well, we will take those thoughts into account, and I will put a mark on it just in case.
That's how much I like number 2, and that's how hard this decision's been for me.
All right. Well, it is noted, and we'll take a look and see what happens throughout the rest of October to find out whether or not Musical Genius Over You gets pushed into that hit list spot as well. But I do want to remind everybody while I have the opportunity to make sure you tune in this Wednesday for our hit list broadcast at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. As brought to you by Landar.com, where our hit list winner will receive a pro account for 1 year from Landar.com for all their music mastering needs on the go. It's a drag and drop interface at Landar.com. If you want to try it out for free, click on one of the banners on the MusicSceneInvestigation.com website, and you can try it out just like our winners would be able to with 2 uncompressed WAV file masters of your music, whereas they'll get a whole year's worth of that. You can get 2 for free just by clicking on a Landar.com banner or link on our website. And again, that hit list is going to be this Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, right here at MusicSceneInvestigation.com. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Ian, who's our guest next week? I know who it is.
You tell away then.
All right, our guest next week is going to be Miss Susie Chase from thegrooveradio.com, one of the most popular podcasts on the internet today. Music, music, music. It's all great stuff. Dave, thanks for being here, buddy. Really appreciate you coming in as always. And
Thanks for having me.
Tell Dale thanks too.
I will. He saved the day.
We're going to give him a production credit on all of your shows.
Definitely. Maybe he'll do it one day.
It's all good. It's all good. And yeah, he could. He definitely could.
Yeah, bring him on for a show.
Definitely. You
I
guys
will do next time.
There you go. We'll do that. All right. Thanks to everybody out in the audience for being here with us as well. We're going to leave off with Silhouette Cities, See It From Your Side, as our song of the week. We hope to see you again on this Wednesday for the hit list, and next week, of course, for Music Scene Investigation. Here is Silhouette Cities, our song of the week. Thanks for being here, everybody. See ya.
Goodbye.
See ya. Goodbye.
Bye.
From UK.
Change, and that's the way that I prefer. I know you're around here somewhere. Some things never change at all, but I'd like to see it from your side. But I'd like to see it from your side. Well, it's hard to find excuses when you're at a loss for words. Yours have a bitter kind of taste. It seems that I have come to grips with my sense of indifference, but I know